Hi guys, hello everyone. Welcome to our webinar. Please let us know if you can hear us, if you can see us, so that everything is in order. Yeah, okay, super. I guess the connection as well, so we can start. We apologize to everyone who was waiting for the webinar yesterday due to technical issues. We were unable to hold it, and we are happy to see you today with us. So the topic of our webinar is Spain Digital Nomad Residence Permit and Associate Tax Planning in 2026. So we will talk about the ways how it's possible to get this residency. What are the benefits that this digital nomad residency gives to the people who gets it? And we will also share some tax planning insights. Before we start, let's just introduce ourselves. So my name is Alison. I'm a vice president at Solent. And today with me are also my colleagues, Alina and Eunice, who are lawyers who are based in Spain and are great experts in everything regarding Spanish residency and tax planning. Hi, Alina. Hi, Eunice.
Hello, Alison. Thank you to invite us here. And we hope that we will have a very productive meeting.
Yes,
Good afternoon.
great.
Yeah,
Hi.
good afternoon, Alison. Thank you also. Thank you very much.
Yes, so also a couple of words about our company. So our company name is Solent, and so we are dealing with second citizenship and residency solutions. So we are assisting with citizenship by investment, European residency by investments, and non-investment residencies as well. We also do real estate investment advisory, mainly in the United Arab Emirates, and we assist with business setup solutions in the UAE, Montenegro, and Hong Kong. Our main office is based in Dubai. The head office is here, and we also have representatives in Moscow, Istanbul, and Montenegro. So why Spain Digital Nomad Residence? Why it's the topic of our webinar? So Spain actually offers one of the most attractive non-investment European residence permits that is available today. If you are deep into the topic, if you've already heard about other countries, if you have explored the options, you may know that there are obviously other ways to get residence permit in Italy, Portugal, and in other countries. But unlike many alternatives that are issued for 1 year or 2 years, Spain grants a residence permit for up to 3 years from the start. And this is a great advantage. So that's why it's really makes it interesting and very appealing for the clients. So this residency is used for those who want to secure legal status in the European Union, want to travel visa-free and don't need to bother about the visas for the next trip, and maybe plan future relocation because, of course, also many people love Spain. So before we go deeper into the topic of Spanish digital nomad residency itself, we can also cover why people are interested in getting alternative status, especially in Europe. So firstly, as I've already mentioned, it's of course visa-free travel. So there are many nationalities who have unfortunately weak passports, who need to always apply for the visas. They always need to plan in advance any trip that they want to have. And of course, if a person and family members have a European residence permit, they can travel visa-free within all the Schengen area. Another point is that getting a European residency grants you an access to European banking system. Without it, it's almost impossible to open a bank account there. And it's also possible to expand potential business opportunities. So to register a company, to expand your business. So these things are all possible with the European residence permit. Many people also think about this as a future plan. So they're not planning to relocate right now. They're not planning to change their lifestyle, but it's just a plan B for the future generations, for the kids, because European residence permits also open boundaries for like education, expands the opportunities, and it's kind of a long-term planning. Again, in case something happens, because we all live in a not very stable political world, and that's why it's good to have plan B and sometimes even plan C. So yeah, that's why European residence permit is a really advantageous thing in today's world. And let's talk about Spain digital nomad residency and why is it very appealing. So unlike golden visa programs, for example, if you heard about them, Spanish digital nomad residency doesn't oblige you to invest something in Spain, to buy real estate, to make huge bank deposits or something. Everything is actually based on your current profile and on your income and level of income that you can show. So the financial requirements for the Spanish digital nomad residency is to show minimum income levels. For the main applicant, approximately 2,700 euros per month. And also if other family members included in the file, we need to increase this amount. And now the most important and most significant part, from what sources, from what activity this income must be shown. So yeah, here, Eunice, I invite you to join the conversation and to develop the topic.
Yeah, thank you, Alison. So now let's talk about one of the most important points. It's employment structure. The Spain Digital Nomad Residence Permit applies, as you can see, to two main categories. Let's talk about first self-employed professionals. Who is self-employed? It's people, freelancers, or individual entrepreneurial workings with foreign clients. So if we're talking about from immigration perspective, this category is acceptable. From a tax perspective, this is usually means the standard Spanish tax regime only. It's important. Autonomous are not eligible for the Beckham law. This is one of the most common misconceptions we see here. Second is employed professionals. So it's individuals working under an employment contract and receiving a salary from a foreign company. For these groups, the tax situation can be very different. And in many cases, the Beckham law here we can apply also. Next slide, here you can see countries that can issue social security certificate. So let's say like this, for employment professionals, the employment type alone is not enough. The employment must be located in a country that can issue a social security certificate. And this slide shows the list of such countries. The certificate confirms that the employee remains covered by the home country's social security system and doesn't need to register in Spain. So if the employer's country is not on this list, applying as an employed professional is usually not possible. And the only way is to apply as autonomous. So just a moment.
Exactly.
Next, yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
I just would like to add maybe some resume. So
Yeah, sure.
who choose a digital nomad and why to choose? So it's the first of all is for the remote workers. Okay, so if you can work remotely, you can apply for such kind of the residence permit, and you can apply with your family. That it could be your wife and your children. It could be minor, or it could be also have more than 18 years old. For example, if your children study at university, are going to study at the university, it's a perfect visa for your family, because if they even have 20, 25 years old, but they are still study, they will be able to apply to come with you to Europe, to Spain, exactly. And one more point in case of the digital nomad, because you know that university in Spain, for example, for the foreigners who comes on the base of the student visa, normally pay twice or three times more the university fee. So, but in case of the digital nomad visa, you shouldn't to pay this to 2 or 3 times more the university fee, because you will be considering like a European residence. Okay, and it's also very nice point that we normally work with the family who would like to move to Spain. And of course, moreover, that you have your work, and if you work like an employee, so in this case, you will be able to apply for the Beckham law, just in case if you will be able to provide the certificate that Eunice, my colleague, were explained.
Yeah, thank you, Alina. Thank you for the it's important information also. Yeah. This slide is very important also because it addresses one of the most common misunderstandings about residence permits. So holding a Spanish residence permit doesn't automatically mean that you must permanently live in Spain. In practice, physical presence requirements are assessed on a case-by-case basis. So what it means? It means that some flexibility is possible, but especially for digital nomad. However, flexibility doesn't mean the absence of rules. So time spent in Spain, even if not continuous, can have legal and tax consequences. So that is why we always strongly recommend to our clients before applying for a residency, you should have consultation with a tax lawyer and migration lawyer. It's very important. For a new residency, you need to live in Spain 183 days. This is common rule, which you should know. Spanish authorities look not only at the number of days spent in the country, but also at where your economic interests and personal ties are located. So if we talk about tax implications, like from a tax perspective, physical presence is one of the main triggers for tax residency. It's possible to become a Spanish tax resident even without planning to relocate permanently. So if you would like, Alina, to add something here about taxes, you can tell.
So about taxes, you just have to know a very important point. So you become a tax resident if you at least can meet one of these 3 criteria. The first one, to stay in Spain more than 183 days. The second one, that the core of your business is in Spain. So, for example, you have work contracts in Spain, you have business in Spain or something like this. Or maybe your family lives in Spain, your spouse lives in Spain, and your minor children lives in Spain. So in this case, you will be able to become a tax resident. It's nothing automatic, and it also depends from the time when you come to Spain. So, for example, if you move to Spain in February 2026, for 2026, you will become a tax resident.
Yes, correct. So let's go.
But if you move case 27. Sorry?
Yeah, sorry, Alina. It looks like something wrong with connection.
Yeah, it was some connection issue.
Yeah.
Now we hear you. Mm-hmm.
Now you hear. Maybe you missed something. Do I need to repeat it again, or we can?
I think we missed several words, so it's okay.
Okay, so that's why I totally agree with my colleagues to make a tax planification before you move to Spain and before you have to present different tax declarations and pay Spanish taxes. It's better to have a tax consultation, because maybe you will be able to apply for the special Beckham regime that you quite not paying taxes in Spain about on all your incomes, passive incomes abroad of Spain. Okay. So this is a major point about the taxes in Spain.
Yes, and so we will also cover this in more details later on. Just we also want to make a whole picture, because sometimes the clients come to us, ask something like, I saw the campaign about Spanish digital nomad residency, I have this income, let's go. And then, and it's actually not a very right route to follow, because the consequences happen later on, and it's bad when we understand what happened and what obligations, what responsibilities we have have with holding this residency. It's possible to optimize everything. It's possible to find the best way how to approach your new lifestyle, but it's better to have this tax planning, relocation planning, residence planning all in one before we start anything. Yeah, and on this slide, I also wanted to add that Spanish digital nomad residence itself doesn't require any language exam to get it. However, in order to get the permanent residency or a Spanish passport, it's required to live in France 5 years. And after 10 years, it's possible to apply for a passport with passing the language exam.
Yeah, just it's a general rules, but of course, if you are from some country that have an agreement with Spain, for example, Latin American country, you just need to live 2 years, or Guinea 2 years as well. So it depends from where you're from, okay, which passport you have.
Yeah, exactly.
It's important to live for 2 years legally. So it's also important, yeah. So about languages, I just wanted to add that there are no language requirements for obtaining or renewing the residence permit. However, language exams become mandatory at the citizenship stage. Exactly. So on this stage, yes, it's important. So if we talk also, I would like to add something about naturalization timeline. The Spanish residence system follows clear long-term structure. So after 5 years of legal residence, you may become eligible for permanent residence. And after another 5 years with permanent residence, you may apply for Spanish citizenship. As my colleague Alina told you before, for some citizenship of some list of countries, there is only not 5 years, only for 2 years they need to live legally, and they can apply for a Spanish passport. Also, I would like to notice that Philippines is included to this list of countries.
Yeah, to these 2 years as well. Yeah, it's true.
So in short here, I just would like to say that residence permits offer flexibility, but they are not completely detached from physical presence. So notice that every client's situation is different, and what works for one person may not work for another person. I meet such cases always, like, why my friend, he could do this, he could apply for the nomad and he gets his residency, why I can't do this? Situation can be different. That's why we have free consultation in our company to understand, to analyze the situation and then give the correct route. So again, about taxes, so it physically presents tax residency. Long-term goals must always be reviewed together before applying.
Yeah. I saw that the questions from Tony. I don't know, Alison, do you want to read it?
Yeah, okay, we can answer it right now. So yeah, Tony has Portugal residence and registered in tax system at Portugal. And the question is, can he apply for Spain nomad visa, or can he change his residency to Spain?
The answer is, if you comply with all requisites for the digital nomad visa, you can apply for that. So you just come. Here in Spain, you will have to make the declaration of the entrance, because it's like between Spain and Portugal, no stamps. Okay, so and after that we will be able to apply for your nomad visa. And in case if you are, for example, employee at the company, you will be able to provide the certificate of the social security. We will be able to apply also for your Beckham loan.
Okay, thank you. Another question is, I guess, if people who are married have different passports. So if a spouse goes from resident to citizen after 2 years, is the timeline for marriage made shorter to become a citizen?
Yes, when the spouse will become will have a Spanish passport. After that, you will have to change your residence permit. So for example, from digital nomad to the like a spouse of the Spanish. And after 1 year, your spouse will be able to apply for Spanish nationality.
Yes, and I would like also to add that it's important the marriage must be legally and registered.
Exactly.
And yes, and the couple is not separated. It's also important, and they must live together.
Yeah.
So
Okay, thank you so much. Another question is it possible to obtain the digital nomad residency and don't become a tax resident? I think we will go into this deeper, but we can also answer this now.
Yeah, so you have to understand that we have like migration residence and tax residence. It's not the same. Okay, in order to migration residence, you will be able to obtain the digital nomad visa. And if you not stay in Spain more than 183 days and not meet with the free criteria that I told before, so in this case, you're not become a tax resident. So you just use this residence permit to move, but not become a tax resident. But please be careful, because if you would like to renew your residence permit, it will be impossible, because there's a requirement from migration office that you have to stay in a 183 days. So it's like these kinds of residence were made in order that you will become a tax resident, but you also cannot become a tax resident. Just you have to know that you will lose in the future this residence permit if you not become.
Thank you. So I maybe we should start moving forward and then leave the rest of the questions for the later on, just not too
Listen, sorry, I said the next question is it's easy. I just wanted to
easy.
answer.
Okay.
Yes, it's
Okay, let's do quick.
you don't need to obtain an year from a consulate in advance. For the Spain digital nomad residence, the process works like you can enter Spain legally, visa-free, Schengen visa or other valid entry. So the application is submitted from Spain, and the NIE is assigned automatically as part of the residence application. So you don't need prior to get NIE to apply.
Okay, thank you, Eunice. And let's also answer to both, because it's actually clarification of what Alina was saying and the connection was interrupted. So yeah, I guess you started saying if you go to Spain in February and the rest is, yeah.
I were explaining how it works in the practice, no? When you will become a tax resident, because it's nothing automatically in Spain. If, for example, you move to Spain in February 2026, so as in 2026 you will stay more than 183 days, you will become a tax resident for 2026. So in 2027 you will have to submit all the tax declarations. But if you will come, for example, in October, in August, in July of 2026, in this case, it's impossible that you stay in Spain in one natural year more than 183 days. So in this case, you will stay the first month like a non-resident, and the next year you will become a tax resident. So in this case, you will have to submit all the declaration in 2028. So it's work like this.
Yeah, and this is exactly why tax planning before relocation is important, to understand when tax residence may start and how to manage it correctly.
Yeah, exactly. Mina just again asked the same, a very quick answer, and I think that we have to go on. Can I obtain the digital nomad and don't become tax resident? The answer is yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, let's move forward. And also regarding the tax planning and the options, how to optimize everything, it will be a second part of our presentation. So we will go much deeper into the details. Yeah.
I can add, and if you don't mind.
Yeah, we can also just briefly, don't again go into deep details about step by step. What I want to highlight here is the pre-check eligibility that is obligatory and that we do for all our clients before we start anything, before like any payments and agreements. We ask for all the documents to assess the file, if it's at least possible to go for digital nomad residency, and what are the the options that we have. So here we need to see your employment type, we need to see your education, and we need to see your income source. So once we have the full picture, we have consultation when we talk through all the details and say all the necessary things to make sure that you understand that we are aligned here. So this is the first preliminary step. And another thing that I wanted to highlight here is actually why digital nomad residency in Spain is such a popular option, because it's actually the fastest residency that it can be obtained nowadays. Again, comparing to huge backlogs in other countries, very long processing time, like in other European countries, let's say. In Spain, it's really possible to get the approval in around 20 working days if we submit the file inside of Spain. So it's very fast, and I believe not anywhere else this fast process can happen.
So we
Yes,
can show
if
them. No,
Yeah.
here is Alison told everything. We can talk about required documents now, as I said.
Yeah, let's discuss this.
Yeah, here as you can see, so I will explain you for different ways how we apply for digital. We have, as you remember, we can apply as a self-employed and we can apply as employee. So what's the differences? For example, if we apply as autonomo, we don't need health insurance. As you can see is here, we have health insurance valid in Spain for full coverage, and for autonomo, no need. Why? Because you will pay fixed social security payments. It will be first year, it will be fixed approximately 90 euro. From second year, it will be 370 euro, depends on your income. What else? What is differences also? You need to proof of remote work or self-employment. For example, again, self-employment is for people who apply as autonomous, as a self-employed. You need to bring from your country some certificate which proves that you are self-employed in your country. Sometimes it's possible that migration office, they do not request such a document, but still it's possible. And confirmation that remote work is allowed, you get this letter from your company, like employee letter, where it says that yes, you can work remotely, and there is no problem from your side, from side of your company. Proof of income meeting and program threshold. It means you just need to show your bank statement from your bank account, where we can see free minimum for 3 months. You get salary minimum. It's 2,800 euro for the main applicant. So criminal record certificate, university degree. All these documents must be apostilled. It's very also important.
Or legalized. It depends from where you are.
Yes, exactly. Apostilled or legalized and sworn translated to Spanish language. All these documents must be sworn translated. So that's it. What I want to say.
Yeah, about the sworn translation, you can do. Don't worry, because you can do it through our company.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can help with this.
Okay, super. Let's move to the second part of our presentation. We already mentioned briefly about taxation, about Beckham law, because first thing is that every time when a person thinks about relocation in Europe, of course, we need to understand that taxes will be applicable if the person changes his tax residency status. And another thing what we discussed is that for the renewal of residence permit, it's also will be important to show the tax declaration. So that's why here is the topic, and Beckham law is the way how we can optimize our taxes, and we will cover this in more details.
So we were speaking about why tax planning is so critical. Maybe in this case, I just tell you about the standard tax regime in Spain, because it's very important to know. In standard tax regime, you have two bases. It's general base, where you pay from 19 to 47% of your active income. Active income, I mean, for example, your employment income, your freelancer's income, and stuff like this. Okay, And you have also the saving base in Spain is Base de Ahorro that it's between 19% and 30%, okay? And it's all your passive income, dividends, interest, capital gain, go there. So the normal taxation in Spain, it could be till 47 or till 30, depending of the source of your income and the amount of your income. So in this case, we normally, when we have a consultation, tax consultation with client, we just to see the main purpose, how to manage it. And of course, for example, the Beckham law tax regime, it's one of the way of the optimization these taxes in Spain, because in case of the Beckham law, you pay zero taxes of all your passive income outside of Spain. That's why it's so interesting for most of our clients. And you pay 24% from your employment income, if your employment income up to 600,000 euros, and if your employment income more than 600,000 euros, in this case you will pay 47%. So when we speak also about the employment income, we have to consider that in this case it's in all the world, so in Spain and outside of Spain, and it's just this type employment income, okay, not passive income. So that's why the Beckham regime, it's so interesting for most of our clients. I make it like you can have Dubai in Spain, you know. It's like you move, you make a tax residence, and you have very nice taxation in Spain, because some of our clients, for example, especially who has businesses in European Union, for example, they have a company in Ireland, and if they're tax residents in European Union, in Ireland, they pay 0% of the dividends, and in Spain, they pay 0% of the dividends. So it's fantastic options to optimize your taxes. If I can go away, Alison, maybe I just explain about, so we spoke here about the key benefits of the Beckham law. One of the key benefits that I also would like to explain now, because in case of the standard tax regime, you have, so in the, for example, if February you move to Spain, and in 2027, so you in 2026 became a tax resident. So in 2027, you will have to submit the declaration 720. It's a declaration where it's information declaration, but we have to indicate all our assets abroad, out of Spain. Okay, so in this case, on the base of these assets outside of Spain, after that, we will pay I don't know, income taxes, or we'll pay solidarity taxes, or we will pay, I don't know, Eunice, maybe you will help me about the luxury taxes, okay, on your if your assets it's more than 500,000 euros in general. It depends also of the region. And another thing also, in Spain we have different regions. So for example, if in Barcelona you will have more taxes, for example, in Marbella you have less taxes. That it's also very important. That's why in case of the Beckham law, so we also have another tax model, that is 721, that where you have to declare all the crypto money that you have, crypto coins that you have in all the outside of Spain. So this is 2 points that you have to tell to the tax office in Spain. In case of the Beckham law, it's not obligated to submit these models. So the tax company in Spain will not know nothing about you. That is the point also about the Beckham. So you just will have to submit one model, that is 121, where you will declare your incomes from your salary in all the world, and that's all. If we speak about the key benefits of the Beckham law, Eunice, do you have something to
Yes,
add in this case?
there is no obligation to file foreign asset declaration or wealth tax returns, and tax compliance is simplified in this case. Yes, it's so Beckham law. It's really good for people who do not want declare like all their worldwide income. So yes,
And the wealth tax.
and wealth
Wealth
tax.
tax.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Wealth tax is also very
And
important because
it's also like the differences between these two regimes can be very significant in practice because choosing the wrong regime or missing the deadline to apply can result in much higher taxation because when you get your residency, you have 6 months to apply for Beckham law regime. This is very important thing also.
yeah.
So that's why, as I told you before, tax planning must be done before relocating, not after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm totally agree. Who can apply for Beckham law? So it's also a very important point because today we spoke about a digital nomad visa, but it's not only way to apply for Beckham law. So in case of the digital nomad visa, you will be able to apply just in case if you apply like a remote worker from the country that have agreement in social security and if you will be able to provide the certificate that normally it's called certificate A1, that it's about the coverage of social security. Just in this case, you will be able to apply for this regime. In the case if you are self-employment, it's impossible to apply for this tax regime of the Beckham law. So you will have to pay taxes as in a standard way of taxation in Spain. But so moreover of the digital nomad for the Beckham law can apply also employee under the employment contracts in Spain because we have different types of the residence permit in Spain. So, for example, high quality residence permit. If you have a Spanish contract and you work for a Spanish company, you also will be able to apply for this regime. Company director. So it's, for example, imagine that you come in Spain, you set up your company in Spain, and you are shareholder and you director in Spain. So in this case, you will be also to apply for the special tax regime for startup founders. If you're making a startup on the base of the special report from ENISA that consider your project as a startup, as an innovation startup, you also will be able to get a residence permit in Spain, and you will be able to get a special tax regime of the Beckham law. What's more, digital nomad, we just spoke about that, and keep in mind that also for the Beckham law will be able to apply not just you but also your legal spouse, or if you are not married legally, it could be I don't know, mother or father of your common children. Okay, let's do like this.
Well, we are talking now talking about family members, right?
Yeah.
When family members are included, they must generally become Spanish tax resident the same tax year. If one family member become a tax resident earlier or later, this can create tax reporting complications. Also, notice that, please. And who can be included? Like typically, this includes a spouse and dependents, children. Each family member's status must be reviewed individually, of course. Family members must meet income and dependency alignment rules. This is especially important when one spouse works and the other doesn't, or when income is split across across countries. So we often see cases where the main applicant qualifies for the Beckham law, but the family structure wasn't planned correctly. This is common mistake also. So as a result, family member may fall under the general tax regime, increasing overall tax exposure. So.
Mm-hmm.
This is also.
I see here one question that I think is very interesting to speak about this question now from the Mark. Alison, could you?
The one about Irish EU citizens, yeah? Is
Yeah,
Beckham law available to Irish EU citizens if arrive in UK August 2026? How much in the future does Beckham law extend? What Spanish region has lowest tax?
Okay, so it's also available for Irish European citizenship. It's very good questions. That's why I would like to speak actually now about this. Yes, it's available. It's available, and you can apply it in if you have all these bases. Okay, who can apply? For example, we actually now work for as an Irish person. I have an Irish client who has a remote work with a UK company, and he comes here. We apply for the residence as a European nationality, European nationality residence permit, and the same time we show that he works remotely, and we also show his certificate A1. And on the base of this, we will be able to apply for Beckham regime. So that's why it's also it's also be possible in case of the European Union, and even in case if you work for European Union company, because we had 1 year ago we had a case that it was Italian citizenship who will work it for, I think, Poland company, and on the base of this work, the certificate A1, he were applied for the Beckham law, he get it. And you will get a Beckham law regime for 5 small 1 years. What it mean? It mean that if you come in 2026 in February, you will have the Beckham law in 2026 more 5 years. But if you will come in October 2026 and you apply for the Beckham law regime, in this case, you will have a Beckham regime that starts in 2027 plus 5 years more. Okay, that's why it's also very important to make a tax consultation before you move to Spain, just in order to understand where it's for you it will be much more appropriate to move to Spain. What another question, what Spanish region has lowest tax? Okay, there are 2 regions that have lowest tax. It's Andalusia, that is, for example, Costa del Sol, Marbella, Malaga, all these cities, and you can imagine it's Madrid, because of our government stay in Madrid. So that's why, for example, in Madrid we don't have wealth tax, and in general we have lowest taxation.
Yeah, and also I would like to give some important clarification. What matters is when you become Spanish tax residents, not when you arrive in or when you arrive in or leave another country. You must apply within the strict deadline after relocation. If you miss it, the regime is lost and cannot be applied. So it's
Anymore.
very important. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Let's move forward, and maybe all the rest questions we can cover later on.
Yeah, the key conditions. It's not have been a Spanish tax resident for the last 5 years. It's very important. In some cases, for example, actually in Malaga, because when you apply for the Beckham regime, you work with the different tax offices in over all the Spain. So, for example, if you move to Barcelona, we will work with the tax office in Barcelona. It's work a little bit different from the tax office in Malaga or from tax office in Madrid. So that's why, for example, in Malaga, you also can't be registered to have a padrón in Spain for the last 5 years. It's the new criteria that they have actually that starts actually the last year. So there's some details. It's a very little details that you have to keep in mind. So another point that your relocation to Spain is according the work reasons. You set up a company, so you move forward the company as a director. Digital nomad, so you're working remotely from Spain. Labor contract, so you start to work in Spain for the company. That's why you move here. And all these reasons should to be, so just for this reason you move to Spain. This is important to show to the tax office. What's more, not receive income from permanent establishment in Spain. Okay, the permanent establishment concept is the concept of the Union European. That means that, for example, you have companies abroad and you work from Spain in this company, and this company, you move ahead this company so that it's not permitted. In this case, we also make some strategy planning to show that you're not moving forward, that you're not working for your own company abroad. So okay, because if not, it will be like a permanent establishment in Spain. And of course the deadlines. It's very important, because if we miss one day, we never will be able to apply for this regime as well.
Yeah.
I think Eunice, you will be able to speak about the family members under the Beckham law.
If family members relocate, as I told before, tax residency alignment becomes important. Family members may fall under different tax regimes if timing is not planned correctly. So, like in my practice, most Beckham law issues arise not because clients are eligible, but because conditions or deadlines were misunderstood. This is why eligibility should always be confirmed before relocation. So, as I understand, Alina, we should talk about details about family members, right? Or no need?
No, I think that before you were explained about the family members with details.
Yes.
The tax filing obligation is that if you are work like employee in the Spanish company, you will have the payroll, the monthly payroll withholdings 24%. The annual declaration that you will have to submit each year, it's 151, and it's from April to June of the next year, of the natural year. For example, if you have to submit, if your work in Spain in 2026, you will be able to submit it from the April 2027. Okay, and special route for foreign tax credits. Okay, about the tax credits, if we can move to the next page. So how works the no double taxation agreements? So normally, if you are with a standard tax regime and you have and you are in the country that have agreement of no double taxation, normally all that you pay in this country, imagine that it's, I don't know, Dubai as well have the no double taxation. Imagine that in Dubai you pay, I don't know, 9%. So all this 9% that you already paid in Dubai, you will be able to convert and not pay this 9% here in Spain. But how it works, for example, in case of the Beckham law. In case of the Beckham law, we will have the limit of 30%. And I think that Eunice wanted to explain this with more details.
Yeah, this slide shows that taxes paid abroad are not fully credited in Spain. Under the Beckham regime, there is a limitation. Only up to 30% of Spanish tax calculated on total worldwide income can be credited. Even if a person has already paid a high level of tax in another country, Spain may recognize only part of that tax. So the remaining amount must be paid in Spain. So this is what it says here now in the slide. Also just want to add that wrong residence category, like missed deadlines, confusion between residence and the tax residence, and lack of income structure we can meet. We always recommend starting with the proper planning, immigration, tax planning, family structure must work together. So yeah, this is what I strongly recommend you to do.
Yeah, here we actually go to the common mistakes, yeah, that usually clients do that we already named. So yeah, is there anything else about common mistakes and what are the steps apart from booking a consultation and getting a tax advice and residency advice, residency consultation? Is there anything else that people should do? And they also need to share all the documents that they have, yeah, the education and the work documents and the source of income that they have, so that we can fully assess the files.
I think that we said enough about common mistakes. For example, I would like to conclude that I would like to briefly explain how we support our client in practice. Applying for a residence permit is not just about submitting documents. We start with a full pre-check of the client's profile to confirm eligibility and select the correct residence category from the beginning. So we guide clients through the entire process: document preparation, translation, application, submission from Spain, and coordination from biometric and residence card issuers. And like Alina will support me, our goal is to reduce risk, avoid delays, and ensure that the application is structured correctly from the first attempt. This is what we do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is our goals to do for the client.
And about taxes, our tax consultation is designed to help clients understand their tax position before relocation. We analyze income sources, employment structure, country of origin, family situation, future plans. Also, it's very important. Based on this analysis, we explain which tax regime may apply, what obligation will arise, and where potential risk exists in some particular case. So our consultation is conducted in English and focuses on clarity, compliance, and legal optimization. So it's not aggressive tax schemes. It's legal optimization. That's it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Eunice and Alina. And by the way, guys, we will now go through the questions that you have. And I suppose there are many personal questions, maybe more detailed case-by-case situations. So after the webinar, you will all receive a link with the recording where the contacts will be, so you will be able to schedule and request a personal consultation. And so we, together with the colleagues, will be happy to guide you and to check your personal case in all the details. Yes, so now let's talk about the questions. So is there a tax treaty where is tax filed first in Spain or the other country?
Sorry, which one you read, just to understand?
It's a question from Mary. If there is a tax treaty, where is tax filed first, in Spain or the other country?
So you normally file first in the country where you tax resident, and after that, so it also depends, because I don't know, it depends of the in Spain it's a natural year. In case of the other country, it's different. So, for example, in case if you have, I don't know, some apartment in Dubai, imagine, or in some other country, and you pay taxes there, so in your tax declaration in Spain, you will be able to deduct these taxes. Okay, so it's very relative where you pay. Normally, I would say that your general tax declaration has to be submitted here in Spain, and here in Spain you will pay, if you are on the base of the standard tax regime, you will pay for all the incomes in all the world. So when you will have to pay in all the incomes in all the world, we will be able to consider all that you paid, all the taxes that you paid abroad. So that's why I think that's firstly, like the correct answer. Firstly, you pay abroad, and after that you pay in Spain as a tax residence, and you will be able to use the tax credit. Okay.
You need to do this to avoid double taxation. So normally you file and pay tax in the country of tax residency, and so tax is paid in the source or country at the credited or exempt in the residence country according to the treaty, and the credit is often limited, meaning not all foreign tax may be recoverable.
In case of the Beckham law, yeah. In case of the standard tax regime, it will be able to recover all the taxes that you pay abroad.
Okay, thank you, guys. Joey, I see a question about the calculation for your family. So one of our colleagues will contact you right after the webinar, and they will send you the calculation and the offer. So Vanessa is asking if we work with US clients. Yes, we do, to see tax optimizations for a move to Spain. So it's not only EU clients, we have clients from everywhere. So yeah.
It's true. We have a lot of clients from US, so that's why, because they have some particularities in case of the taxation.
Yeah, so I also see Mike's who is keen on applying for Digital Nomad, so we will also contact you right after the webinar. So many questions about other types of visas. We can also briefly mention them, like in Spain.
Do you want that we mention it?
Yes. For example, non-lucrative residency, yeah.
Yeah, really, there are a lot of type of the residence in Spain, but maybe I just mentioned some popular some popular residence permit, like non-lucrative visa, startup visa, high quality residence visa, what more, intercorporate transfer, digital nomad, Eunice.
Internal residence, student visa.
Student visa, yeah, entrepreneur as well, yeah. So they're different. The much more popular, it's these 5 that I mentioned actually now, but it depends of your situation. So that's why it's always better to have some consultation and choose the right type of the residence permit that is according of your questions about the tax residence and your personal situation.
Yes, exactly. Because sometimes clients come to us, say directly, "I want this residency, please assist." And when we start talking, we understand that it's not the type of residency that he can choose and that can suit him. So yeah, that's why it's always better to start with the whole picture from the beginning. So
Exactly.
what are the other questions that were actually earlier? Is a state pension classed as active or passive income?
So it depends. If you mean that the state pension is from Social Security, in this case, it's active income. It's in general base.
So there was also a question about what you mentioned, that the person shouldn't be a tax resident for the last 5 years in Spain to be able to apply. So the question was, does this mean someone under a different visa, like non-lucrative, and they cannot change it to the digital nomad?
Exactly. So if you came in Spain as non-lucrative and you change it for the digital nomad visa, you already won't be able to apply for Beckham law, because it means that you already a tax resident, because non-lucrative visa suppose that you become a tax resident as a standard tax resident, okay, with a standard rate, because you can't work. So that's why you can't apply for Beckham law. And you will have to stay in Spain more than 183 days in order to renew this residence permit. That's why it's impossible. So you also will have to register in Spain, so to make the padrón.
Yeah. Thank you. I also see Tony's inquiry for application. We will also contact you right after the webinar. Erica, I see that you missed half of the webinar. We will send the recording right after it will be ready, so you can check everything. Do we do D7 visa for Portugal? You can reach out to us. Yes, it's also possible, and we can compare the options with other countries as well. So what about the visa related to Latin American countries? I guess what maybe was asked, that they have a more simplified route for naturalization?
No, it's the same. It's the same type of residence permit. So it's but in 2 years they will be able to apply for citizenship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also is important. They must burn in these countries not to get their citizenship.
Exactly. Because we have also the clients who just get a passport. It's not valid for a fast track for citizenship. Okay, it's not valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good comment. Yeah. Yeah. So in Q&A section, we also have something. So does rental income from the UK qualify towards the monthly requirements for the digital nomad alongside income from a company outside of Spain? So rental income from the UK, is it possible to qualify it for digital nomad?
No,
No,
just for non-lucrative.
It's passive income. For digital nomad, it's important to have active income. It's possible to use passive income, but it will just help us. For example, if active income salary is not 2,800 euro, but less, for 2,600 euros. So in this case, we can try to use passive income and to get proof for the digital nomad residency. So only in this case, we can use passive income. Yeah,
it's correct.
Thank you. There was also another question. Is there any way to get extra time outside Spain because the client works remotely and still need to attend certain meetings that could add up to more than 10 months in 5 years? So yeah, is it possible to gain more flexibility apparently in residency?
Eunice, could you answer, because I missed some words.
I understood. No, it's actually a strict condition. It can be flexibility, but it's not unlimited, or it depends on the type of residency and how your situation is structured. For applying for long-term residency, permanent residency, it's important to leave 183 days per calendar year. And you cannot absent from Spain more than 10 months is total for 5 years. It's the conditions. So that's why the answer no. It will not be possible to apply for permanent residence if a client cannot follow these conditions. Let's say like this.
Okay, thank you. Another question: would it be possible with a student visa to apply for the Beckham law?
So, very good question, I say. Very good question, because it's interesting, actually, okay, it depends also of the type of your student visa, because actually now, in case if you have student visa on the base of the study at university, you automatically have the right to work. And if you automatically have the right to work, you will be able to be employed in any Spanish company. So in this case, you will be able to apply for the Beckham law. But actually, I would say that it's an exemption. It's not the general rule, because really the general rule that you move for the work, for the purpose of the work, they will be able to deny your Beckham regime, because they would be able to say that the purpose of your stay in Spain is study and not the works. So I wouldn't suggest to do this, even if technically we can do it, really. Actually, now we can do it, but I don't know how it will be in the future. We have some tricks to don't show the type of the residence, to show just the things that you need to show, something like this. But I wouldn't recommend to do it through this way, because in the future they will be able to cancel your Beckham regime, and that is also an important point.
Okay, so the question is, I have applied for family ties residency and I have already a commercial identification number. Can I still also go for the back home protocol if I think I'm going to go over 180 days?
I
Ines,
think
can you answer, because I didn't
it's
see the question.
I think here he needs
Okay.
a consultation because maybe on specific conditions. I don't know. Like
Okay, I have applied for Eco Familiar and I have already commercial NIF. Can I still also go to the Beckham protocol? No, you can't. No, you can't, because to apply for Eco Familiar, you have to show your padrón histórico. Okay, you're registered, and that I told before. You can't be registered. Okay, that's why I told that no, impossible to apply for the Beckham law from arraigo familiar. Sorry. Arraigo familiar, you mean that, could you, Julian, could you confirm if arraigo familiar it's on the base of your spouse that European citizenship? Could it be this? In the case if that on the base of your spouse, for example, that is European citizenship or Spanish citizenship, in this case, yes. In this case, if you just came, received it, so during the first 6 months, you will be able to apply it on the base, for example, the work contract. In this case, yes. But if you before were living here and after that you make the arraigo familiar and you live here for more than 6 months, in this case, impossible.
also, I think that it's matter how he earn income and whether he operate a permanent establishment in Spain. So, but still, I think that it's critical risk for if he is autonomous as a self-employed. I think it's very risky. I generally cannot apply, in my opinion, for Beckham law.
It's better to study this situation on the personal consultation, and when we will know all the details, all the information, we will be able to tell if it's possible or not, or if it's possible, which conditions we have to comply.
Okay, guys, I think we can finish because there were many questions, and I think that we can continue talking about different personal cases, but it's better for everyone to have it on personal consultations. Thank you so much for being here today with us. Thank you, Alina. Thank you, Eunice. So everyone present or who are registered will receive the links for the recording, and everyone who we promised to be contacted, we will do from our side. And yeah, feel free to book consultations. We will answer all your questions and find the most suitable residency type for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you,
for-
guys.
Thank you.
Alison. It was
for
a
your great
pleasure
questions.
to be here with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.